Hey everybody, Larry, Fort Worth Memories Museum and Group and Fort Worth Memories Political Group. I've got our friend and fellow member and fellow journalist, Eddie Brown with the Fort Worth Weekly. Eddie, how are you doing this morning?
Doing well, Larry. Thanks for reaching out to me today.
Yes, so we're going to discuss your personal case in the family court deal.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the show, brother?
Okay, so somewhat ironically, because I spent a lot of my time reporting other people's family court, criminal court ordeals, I have my own personal story, and I want to share it. It's the first time I've gone public with this, but I want people to know what's happening. So
Yes.
It's a complicated story. I'm going to start by reading a letter I wrote last night that kind of encapsulates it, and then we will go through some other topics. I want to talk about how the district attorney's office will meddle in a child custody case if it benefits a wealthy family. That's my personal story, and I think it's happening to other people. And also how they will meddle, and I'll give evidence of that. And of course, just the role that wealthy people have in totally destroying the lives of non-wealthy people in child custody cases, which you know to be true. So,
Right.
anyway, I was moved to write this letter last night, so I'm going to just start with this letter, and then we'll go from there. This is my personal account. We're talking about my child here.
Yes.
All right. I am the father of a 4-year-old child who was hidden from me from birth. I was never told when my daughter was born or whether she was alive and well. To this day, her birth certificate makes no mention of her true father. As many of you know, in this state and country, parents have both a constitutional and God-given right to seek a relationship with their children. In Tarrant County, that right has been denied to me by the district attorney's office and our criminal court system due to the close political connections maintained by my daughter's maternal family. Monday, I stand trial for the offense of calling the man who is hiding my child in his home. The criminal offense is 14 phone calls. The unanswered phone calls were a desperate plea to be told if my child was alive. The district attorney's office criminalized those efforts. No parent should ever have to go through what I've been through, and my story is far from isolated. Routinely, Tarrant County's family courts fail to understand that there is nothing more sacred in this life than the bond between a child and his or her parents. Too frequently, well-moneyed parents control the levers of government and abuse that power to criminalize the rights of the other party. Sharen Wilson's administration went so far as to commit criminal obstruction of justice by strong-arming 2 Fort Worth police officers who understood that I had a right to see my child. The DA's intake attorney met with my daughter's mother 10 times and planned a scheme that has utterly wrecked my life. One district attorney went so far as to place my daughter on a no-contact list, even as I fought through the family court system to see my child. Every imaginable legal barrier was placed between my daughter and myself. Every night throughout the ordeal, I went to sleep dreaming about my faceless child. It was only through the intervention of my attorney that the DA's efforts to obstruct my child custody case was initially thwarted. When I finally met my 18-month-old daughter, she didn't recognize her father, but I knew that she had felt my love and adoration since birth. Beginning Monday, a jury will decide whether I was harassing the man who hid my child in his home. A retired visiting judge, who I know will not take his oath of office, will preside over my case, and the prosecutor is a man whom I have reported on extensively for prosecutorial misconduct. The trial is retribution on the part of DA Sharen Wilson, who feels maligned by our newspaper's reporting and fails to understand the role journalists play in unapologetically reporting injustices wherever they are found. Please keep my family in your prayers this week. I stand trial for having the audacity to be a father to my daughter.